So I was thinking about what cards would be really good fits for the last quarter century secret set, and it got me thinking like what cards are still out there that need reprints pretty badly. So I want to go through my top 10 cards that I think could be in this reprint set. I want to rule out a few as well. First of all, ones that we already know are going to be in there, like Fuelos, but also cards that like have just come out in the last like 6 months. Like obviously they need a reprint, but it's not going to be right away. So I'm talking about like older cards that have gotten reprints already for the most part that are still expensive, and could use a little bit of help. The only drawback with some of these is that they already have quarter century secret printings. So I don't know if they're just going to bypass those or if they're going to put them in again just without a quarter century slot in the set. It depends what the format of the set is going to be. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with Catcher Fenrir. Like this card's been out for 3 years now, 2-3 years, and it's still a $10 card at minimum for the original ultra rare. So I think this is a pretty quality like call for a reprint in the quarter century set. Yeah, I think it's pretty strong. A lot of people still don't have access to this card, and it's very generic and staple, and it just feels like a card that would be in this kind of set. The next card I'm thinking is Mermail Abyss Pike. It depends how much of the like archetype specific stuff they get into, but Abyss Pike is one of those cards that's still mega expensive for, even the rare is $6. The super is like $18. I don't know how legit this 1251 copy is. It could be like damaged or something. Yeah, mod played French, but anyway, like a legit copy is 17-18 bucks, up to 20. So yeah, I think Abyss Pike is going to be a quality call for a reprint, and they did do a few archetype specific cards in the last quarter century set, so this one could see a little bit of action there. And then while we're on the Mermail train, Abyss Giles is that obvious need for a reprint. It's $60 minimum for a copy, basically. Let's click on the ultra rare here. For the minimum price, it's $55 for a light play. So yeah, this card really needs a reprint. It's the only expensive card in Mermail for the most part. Everything else is affordable. Everything else is reprinted. So yeah, just Abyss Giles and then really Pike. And then everything else that might cost a little bit of money is either new or, it's been reprinted. Like in the last quarter century set, we got Neptibus, we got Dragoons. So I could see Pike and Giles coming. And they don't have quarter century prints, obviously. Okay, the most obvious card that needs a reprint, I think, is going to be this card, 7th Ascension. This card is now $50. There's only one printing. It's from Legendary Duelist Duels from the Deep. Wow. That's the set where like all the Marincess support came in, right? That's crazy. Like I wonder like how cheap this card was before we knew about what's called 7th Tachyon. If we go back to a year ago, this was $2. $3. That's absolutely crazy return. So if you were lucky enough to pick one up, you're in luck, but there's only 13 listings available and $50 minimum, and it's being played. So that's kind of nuts. This card needs a reprint ASAP, and I hope Konami is on that ASAP. Okay, besides this one, there's one card that is the most obvious need of a reprint of all time, and it's Dragon Master Magia. They have the Blue Eyes cards out. People are hyped about this Blue Eyes deck, and they want to play one of the coolest cards you could play in Blue Eyes. So why is there a card that only comes out in quarter century secret? It's over $1,000, which is absolutely bonkers. So they could put this in the quarter century secret set. They could, and just not print it in quarter century secret, but print it in all the other rarities. I don't know what that would do to the collector's market for this thing, because like, I don't know. It's almost cool to have a card that's only in this high rarity, but also if it's playable in a deck that you're pushing, like maybe make it available. You know what I mean? So it's kind of sus. But we'll see if it gets reprinted anytime soon. Moving on. Okay, I was hesitant to even include this engraver. Like, obviously it needs a reprint. It hasn't even gotten to its megatin point yet, so I can see them not doing this. But also, it's been out as long as Perulio, which got a reprint. Fuelos is getting a reprint, so engraver is just so heavily played, so common in deck builds nowadays. It's in Malice, it's in Ryzeal, it's in whatever the heck you want to play it in. And it's still, what is it? Well, it's $30 here, but it could be 40. Yeah, it's 40 for a legit copy. So, yeah, this card needs a reprint. We'll see what happens with it on the ban list, though. Let's see if it gets hit to 2 or 1 or 0 even. And yeah, like I really don't foresee this going in the quarter century secret set because they're gonna use this reprint to sell another set. Like, for example, they're gonna put this in a set that's kind of otherwise crap, and people are gonna open it for the engravers. So, you know, they're not gonna. I don't suspect they're gonna overload this last quarter century set with all of like the meta reprints. But hey, I just want to point out engraver needs one. Chaos Angel. This one is actually one of my top choices for this set. It has its original print. It got a reprint in the Megatins. It has an OTS LD, and still the lowest price one is $27. This would be a great fit to have like a super and ultra, you know, the ultimate rare, the collector's rare. I think this one is a easy, you know, choice for the quarter century set. But yeah, this card needs a reprint pretty bad. Like, everyone's playing this card. Alongside this one is another card that came out at the same time, Bestial Dispatter. Not quite to the extent of popularity, but still, it has its original print and a Megatin print, and it's still $10, $11, $12. Okay, so, and same thing. And this one, I don't think, does it have a quarter century secret rare? I don't think so, right? So, yeah. Like this, I think this one can also come out in all the fancy rarities too. And because it doesn't have a quarter century secret rare, I think it's even more likely to be in this set. But yeah, kind of cool. Chaos Angel and Dispatter are two good choices. Now moving on to the Bestials. I think the Bestials are other obvious choices. Like, they don't have any fancy rarities besides Lubellion, which I'll talk about in a second. But Druisworm, Magnemut, you know, Baldrake, Sarnier, none of them have quarter century secret printings. They all have this prismatic secret rare print, which is kind of nice, but I think Druisworm is the one most in need of a reprint because it's at $18 right now. Let's see if it gets hit on the ban list, like OCG hit it to 1, so let's see if we have it hit to 1 as well. But yeah, this card needs new copies available. Lubellion is the next one. This one I'm not so sure about because it has a quarter century secret printing. I forget what set that's in, but it already has a quarter century secret printing, and I don't know. I'm kind of surprised at the relative price of this. Maybe not, because Druisworm is much more played than Lubellion is, but Lubellion's more expensive. But I guess that's because the original print is secret, and Druisworm's original print is super, so it's a little bit more accessible. The price is going to be lower, but yeah, I think Lubellion could be included in all the Bestials being in this set. We'll see. A couple more here. Typhon. I was actually very surprised to see how expensive Typhon is. It's $28 for the cheapest copy, and that's the original ultra rare print. It does have a quarter century print already. We could see it come out in super and, you know, prismatic collectors, prismatic ultra or ultimate, whatever. But yeah, I was very surprised to see how expensive this card is. It's a very good card. It's very generic. Literally any deck can play it. But wow, it's $30 for a minimum copy, and it has a reprint already, so yeah. And then the last one, just a quick throw in, is Gravekeeper's Inscription. This is another one that has a Megatin reprint, and there's still $9 a copy minimum. Yeah, this one says 68 cents, but it's not real. If we scroll down here to the listings, if they load, oh, I just went too far, I guess. This one is like a foreign something. But the first real copy is $10. So, yeah, we could see this kind of card in there in the quarter century secret set. Let me know what other cards you think really need a reprint. Obviously, yeah, don't say like Meowls, don't say Obawaku, don't say stuff like that. Yeah, the cards just came out. But like older cards that are still really expensive, do you think they're going to get reprinted in this set? Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like, sub to the channel if you enjoyed. We'll catch you soon.